So we're so excited to see you all here. And you see up there on the screen a list of supplies that we're gonna run through a service project together today. If you have these supplies, go grab them. If you don't, it's all right, not a problem. You can do these projects later. But we're gonna just walk through and do one today really quickly later on. So now's a good time to grab those and just kind of clear a little space where you'll be able to do that work. And let's see, I'm trying to think. Oh, if you are on a phone, a cell phone, it's easier to do this with a computer. And also, we have a question over here on the side, on the right side of the screen. What is your family's favorite at-home activity? Just go ahead and throw your answer. So you know, everybody's staying home with COVID-19. People are coming up with really creative ideas of things to do to stay engaged and entertained and busy, all of the above. So we thought it'd be really cool for everybody to share, every family to share one of their favorite at-home activities so that other families can learn and you guys can all learn from each other. So just throw those into the chat. And let's see. And Anna, can I ask how many people do we have on so far?
We have 14, including
Okay. And I'm going to ask another question. Anybody know how I cannot see the screen and instead see the grid view? So when I click grid view, I still see the screen. Anybody know on my team?
I don't think that's possible, Laura.
All right. So I can only see like 3 people, and I know there's more there. Okay, so Anna, let me know when we get to that. So how are you guys doing this morning? I see lots of kiddos. Have you guys been up for hours? You can shake your head yes or no. No, you just got up. Different answers. Oh, cool. I'm seeing some answers here in the chat. Going on walks with masks. Let's see if I can get down here. And also playing board games together. Lots of board games. Rollerblading and biking. My daughter likes to do rollerblading too. That's one of her favorite. Painting. That's a good one. Yep.
Hey, Laura, there is a way you can see more people. If you go up to the top of the screen, it says view options.
Yes.
And at the bottom is like
side by side mode.
Yeah, it said side by side something. It's the last option. It tells you.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Okay, I can see more of you. Hey guys. Hi Vikram, I see you.
Where is this?
Okay, I see a bunch of families here. Okay. All right, Anna, how many are we at right now?
17.
Okay, we'll wait for 3 more families. Then we'll get started. We have a lot to do today. Okay, and for any of you who just joined, we'd love for you to throw your answer in the chat to the question that's up there. Since you've been home through all of the COVID-19 requirements for staying at home and being safe, what kinds of cool things have you been doing as a family that's just been fun to do, or what's your personal favorite thing to do? Maybe you discovered something new. I know my daughter and I have discovered a couple new that we like to play. And also to grab your supplies if you have, and just kind of get a space ready. We're going to walk through a service project together today. And if you don't have supplies, right, you can do this later. we just wanted to be able to demo it. We're going to kind of have like a little cooking show, but it's I see making art in the chat. Reading. I have been getting into reading too. I am never really have time for reading. Riding bikes. Geocaching. Ooh, that sounds fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, and let's see, we're at 9:07. We'll wait just maybe another minute or so and get started. It's so nice to see all of you guys and all your faces today. Okay. All right, Anna, how many do we have?
We're still sitting at 17.
Okay.
We're probably okay.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start then. So thank you, first of all, for sharing all your answers in the chat. Those were great ideas. I especially love the geocaching because I like to hike. So great idea. So we're going to start off, first of all, with kind of just make an introduction. So my name is Laura Grindle. I'm the executive director at See Kids Dream. Some of you I've met at other events that we've had, and we really appreciate you being here today. I also wanted to introduce you to, let's see, I wanted to have wave hello from our staff members at See Kids Dream. We have Dawn, want to wave? Yep, Brenda, and Anna. So hopefully you guys could see them waving. We're all going to be taking turns hosting the summer of service events over the, oh, Darren, I'm so sorry, I missed you, Darren. Darren wave, yes. Darren is not on our staff, he's a volunteer, he's even better. And so Darren also is helping out with all of summer of service. So you're going to see these faces over and over again through the next 4 weeks. So I also wanted just to kind of set the ground rules. A lot of you have probably been on Zoom, done Zoom calls for school and all that kind of stuff. But just wanted to share, we're going to go ahead and keep everybody on mute. And you can unmute by using the space bar on your computer if you're using a computer. On a phone, you have to swipe over and hit the unmute button. What we prefer for you to do, just to kind of make it so that everybody can hear everybody else, is use the raise your hand action on the bottom. And so the way that you get to that is, okay, I do not see that. So, Dawn, can you help me? Do they click raise our hand from the chat button?
So yeah, they go to, they can go to the participants and click on their name, and it says more.
Gotcha.
Yep, and then I'll say, and there's a thing that says little raise your hand icon.
Okay. So if you could do that, that would be great. It just click the raise your hand. Also too, I will say, if you can do this in the screen, we'll also try to acknowledge you that way. It's just that if there gets to be so many people, we won't be able to see everyone's faces on the screen at the same time. So that was the only reason we were hoping to do the click raise hand. But right now, it looks like everybody's fitting on this one screen. Is that the case for you, Dawn? Can you see everybody? Okay. Dawn's running all of our tech today. So, so for now, I'd say you can just do this and we'll see you. And then we'll unmute you and you can ask your question. The other thing too is to let you know that in case you didn't know this, there's a grid and a speaker view on Zoom. And if you go up to the top of your screen, you'll see where it says if you're in speaker view, or if it says speaker view, that means you're in grid. And if it says grid, then you're in the other one, a gallery view, I think is what it is. So you can go back and forth between those. Speaker view is nice because whoever's talking then is the one that shows up on your screen. Okay, So let's see, overview of the schedule today. John's going to share really quickly. We're just going to be doing, we're going to try to get you done by 10 o'clock today. This is our first time doing this kind of event via Zoom. So please be patient with us as we work through it today. And we appreciate you all being brave enough to join us on this first one. So we're going to do a quick warm-up activity. Then we're going to learn about a community need and ask questions of a guest who represents a local nonprofit who's going to be joining us. We're going to do a quick service project together and have a wrap-up discussion, and that's about it. So that's kind of what we have in store for you. So I want to then kind of touch on what is Summer of Service. First of all, I want to say thank you to Adam H. They are our sponsor for this event this year. They were the sponsor last year as well. They are really, they support service learning in our community because they know that it really supports strong mental health in all of us. So we appreciate their support very much in making this possible. I also wanted to ask, how many of you joined us last year for the first time that we had done Summer of Service? How many? Just raise your hand if you had. A couple of you, yeah, a couple. Okay, but most of you know, which is kind of cool because now we have a whole bunch of new people that are getting to do Summer of Service. Well, this year is definitely different than we had planned for obvious reasons. And so we really are hoping that along the way as we do this, that you guys will be willing to give us feedback, either positive or negative, because we want to learn and see how we can get better and offer more opportunities for the community and for kids and families to get involved. So I want to ask you now a question, and you guys can raise your hands. This is a question for kids and families to answer. Why is service important? Anybody want to be brave? Raise their hand. Oh, I see Summerfield. Or
yeah, say hi, I'm Nathan. Okay, my name's Ara. This is Nathan. Go ahead, Nathan. He doesn't want to talk now.
Hi, Nathan. That's all right. That's okay. Go ahead.
He said it was important to help people.
Important to help people. Yep. Some other answers. I gave away a good one during the mention of Adam H. Actually,
We have Vikram that's raising his hand.
Vikram.
It's good to learn by doing instead of just sitting in the classroom.
That's a great one. Yep. Yep. Any others? I know you guys have volunteered before. I'm sure you have. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't have landed here. So those of you who have volunteered before, why was it good? What did it feel like to volunteer? Why was it good for you or for the community? Okay, I see we're being shy today. So, and that's
We have Stacy. She wants to answer.
oh, here we go.
So we like to teach our children about how fortunate we are, and we like to share how fortunate we are with others that don't have the same resources, I guess. So I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but yeah, just share what we have with people that don't.
See, I'm afraid that it was hard to hear a lot of what you said. I think there might be a funny connection there.
To see all the happy faces.
I think is on delay. Stacy, I'm so sorry. I heard the word resources, and I heard family getting out or something like that. But it was a really, I think you probably hit a blip. I was having the same problem yesterday in the internet connection, and it sounds like it maybe went out a little bit and was in and out. It was hard to hear. Can we want to try one more time?
Certainly. Can you hear us now? We just like to share our good fortune with other people, and Chloe said,
I like to see all the happy faces.
Yeah, I think
did you hear
a
that?
little bit of trouble with the internet connection there, but I heard a little bit more. It sounded like that you feel it's really important to share your good fortune with others. And that's a really great point. And thank you. I'm sorry that the internet connection is a little funny there, but thank you. Okay, do we have other hands? Oh, I see Kate Glanz.
It's good to give back because we already have a lot of stuff and we can give other people the things that we have.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot like what we were hearing Stacy's family share just a minute ago. Yeah, when you have a lot to give, why not give it, right? Any other answers? Nathan, did you think of a new one? I saw his hand, no. Okay, all right. Oh, I see one, Starkey family. Mute them. There we go.
We just had a lot of fun doing new stuff last year. Like we helped out at different organizations that we'd never really stepped foot into, like see or experience. So the kids got to do some new stuff like working in the gardens at the food bank and going to the colony cats and they made animal pet toys and stuff, and they enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And what?
You know.
And she liked doing the fossils last year.
Oh yeah, that was yes. Okay, well, you guys, those were all great answers. And the funny thing is I had down on my notes, okay, here's the 3 things that I was saying that help, the why service is important. It helps others, right? So you're sharing your good fortune with others. It makes you feel good too. So it really is, there's a lot of research that supports this. That's why Adam H supports what we're doing, that it really does build your own positive mental well-being when you're helping others. You feel better when you help others too. And then it gives you a chance to grow, right? It gives you a chance to learn about other communities and other ways that other people need help. It gives you a chance to try something different. And it gives you a chance to lead and to understand what that's like, to put yourself out there, take a risk. Just like we're kind of taking a risk today with talking on a Zoom call with a bunch of people that we've not met before, right? And sharing our ideas. This gets a little, it's definitely outside of the comfort zone for a lot of us humans, right? We're still figuring out how to really make this seem normal. And it's not yet, but we're doing the best we can, and that's okay. So I get it. We've talked to a lot of kids, by the way, through our school programs, through Zoom. And we've seen that a lot of kids still are feeling kind of awkward on Zoom. So we understand if you're feeling awkward, and that's okay. But you know what? I encourage you to try to push through it for just one time and see what it feels like. Okay? It feels awkward for a lot of adults too, trust me. Okay, so we're gonna today give you a way to keep on doing all these good things in the summer. We work with schools all throughout the year, giving kids the opportunity to get involved and find the way that they're passionate about giving back. And we hope that Summer of Service is that for your family this year. So first of all, we're gonna do a really fun activity now, okay? So we're gonna do a mini scavenger hunt. So I need every student, you're not students, it's not school, every kid on the call to listen for just a second, because you want to hear all the instructions first. So wait until I say go, and then you can start. Okay, so kids, I want you to stop for a minute and think of your favorite snack or drink. You just kind of picture it in your head. Okay, oh, and think of one that's somewhere in your home at this moment. So in the pantry or fridge, something like that. Okay, now, so here I'm still reading instructions, so not starting yet. You're going to have 60 seconds to go and get it and hold it up to the screen like this. Okay? You can't open it. It's just for our game. Parents get to decide if or when you'll be eating that later. But it's for our game today. And also it's not a race. We're just asking you to go and get it and come back to the screen as quickly as you can. Does anybody have any questions before you start? Nope. Okay. So on your marks, get set, go. Okay, I see some Doritos, ooh, some Chips Ahoy, some potato chips, it looks like. I see popcorn and goldfish and Gatorade, goldfish and Gatorade again. And I see some kind of bar. No, is that Fig Newton's upside down, Vikram? And Oreos, some soft, chewy granola bar maybe, or cookies or something. Yep, okay. Gatorade. The Gatorade's got the market here. Hershey's, and I can't tell what's next to the Hershey's bar. Is that a some kind of cake or something like that? Cookie?
Looks like ramen.
What is it?
Ramen.
Ramen. Great. Okay, so yeah, you guys, sweet. I see some chips here, some lime chips along with the Oreos, more Doritos. All right, wow, you guys have a wide range of Cheez-Its. I like Cheez-Its too. You guys have a really wide range of snacks, I have to say. And lots of sweets in there, and lots of Gatorade. Okay. So I want to ask you a couple of questions. Why do you like eating the snack? And just raise your hand. We want to hear from you guys. What do you like eating? Why do you like the snack? There's no right or wrong answer. I see Nathan's hand up.
I just really like Gatorade because it's actually a thirst quencher and I like it more than water.
It's a thirst quencher, and what was the last part you said, Nathan?
And it tastes better than water.
It tastes
better than water.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really good. It tastes better than water. I like that. Okay. All right. Who else wants to share why I see Starkeys have their hand up.
Go ahead.
Because my favorite two things are put together.
And which was your snack again?
Cheesy rice cakes.
Cheesy rice cakes. So rice and cheese must be two of your favorite things. Okay, anybody else want to share why that's their favorite?
We have Natalie.
Natalie, go ahead and share.
I like Gatorade because I'm a sports player.
Makes sense, yeah. So yeah, you probably got started drinking it when you started playing sports, right? And then you just found out how much you liked it. Okay, all right. So how do you feel when your family runs out of this snack? Because moms and dads aren't always perfect at restocking the pantry, right? Or the fridge. Sometimes we run out. How does that make you feel when you go to the pantry and you open the door, or you go to the cupboard or the fridge and you go, oh, it's not there? How does that make you feel?
Raise your hand if you want to.
I feel it's fine to me. I don't drink it all the time, so it doesn't bother me much.
Okay, that's great. Who else? Starkeys?
She rose her hand and now she's like, what did you say? She doesn't remember now.
Okay, no problem. I saw more hands raised here. I think the Natalie's family.
We have Ning Yang.
Okay, yes.
When we run out of Gatorade, I'll just drink water.
You just drink water. Okay.
What about you?
Make a substitute. That's great. It looks like Stacy's family has their hand raised. There we go.
I understand because I do have 2 other brothers that probably eat it too.
You know what, Stacy's family, I would love for you guys to put your answer in the chat because I couldn't hear it again. We will definitely shout it out as soon as we see it in the chat. That would be great if you wouldn't mind putting that in because we would definitely want to hear what your answer is. I think there's just a problem with the internet connection right now. Okay, so we'll look for that in the chat. And anybody else want to share?
Yes, we had Ning Yang.
Yes.
I don't really care. I just eat something else.
You just eat something else too. Okay. You guys have a pretty, I think, a pretty healthy attitude about it. You don't get really upset when you don't have it. Well, I have to say myself, when I think, when we have a thing at my house, I really like Coke Zero, but I only drink it probably like once or twice a month. Everybody else in my family drinks it much more frequently. And when I go to the refrigerator and find that there's nothing there, that it's not there, I feel disappointed. I feel like, oh man, I really wanted that. And now I just have to drink water. And I'll drink water or I'll make something different, like iced tea or something. But it still makes me feel disappointed. And I think you guys have a really healthy attitude, but I think a lot of people would probably feel a little disappointed. I want to ask you another question. What if you're—
Laura, Stacy's answer is they would be sad and assume her brother ate it.
With you. That's exactly how I feel about the Coke Zero. Thank you for sharing that. So what I want to ask you then is to think about one step further. Is what if your family was not going to buy snacks anymore? What if you didn't have snacks at all anymore and your family couldn't buy those, the ones that you love, or any other ones? I want you just to think about that for a minute. That's a real situation that there are many families facing, especially these days. People are really having to cut back in lots of kinds of ways. Snacks are a nice thing to have. They make us happy. They make our bellies full. They make us feel good. But they're also nice to have things. We're lucky if we have those. And they're a treat that a lot of people just don't really actually have on any kind of regular basis because they don't have enough money to buy just basic foods, you know, the things that we need, like it's a sandwich or the hot dog or the vegetable. So they may not even have enough money to pay for a place to live, to keep those things in a cupboard or to cook their food. Can you imagine being in that situation? That's a real situation for real people in our community, and even families have struggled with that here in our community and continue to. So these people don't have many options, and they really need to get help from others in order to get the basic things that they need. Today, we're going to be learning more about people in our community who are dealing with what we would call homelessness. So we have the executive director of the Open Shelter. His name is Harry Yepram. He's going to be joining us in just a minute. The Open Shelter, I just wanted to give you a little bit of background about the Open Shelter. They take care of many people who don't have a home. So they don't have food, but they don't even have a roof to sleep under. The Open Shelter gives people food and a safe place for them to stay during the day. And then they also give them resources to help them get through the nighttime, which is when it's a really difficult and unsafe time for people to be homeless. After he's done, so he's going to share a little bit about what they do and the specific things that they do to help people. And after he's done sharing, we're going to turn the meeting over to all of you, and you're going to raise your hand and ask questions. We're going to be sorry, I want to make sure also to mention as we're listening to Mr. Yepram, just to know that he is very passionate about the people that he helps. He is very dedicated to the open shelter and helping people who are homeless. So let's make sure we give him lots of respect and listening to him while he's talking. And then afterwards, when we're asking questions too, we want to make sure that we are being respectful when we're asking our questions. So first we're going to let him talk for a little bit, and then we'll open it up. And when we do that, we'll ask you to raise your hand to be called on, and so that you can ask a question. And if you are experiencing any internet challenges, please feel free to just to stick your question in the chat, and we'll be able to answer it that way too if we can't hear you actually. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and welcome Mr. Yepram, Harry Yepram. So go ahead and share the screen. I see him down there. Hi. Hi, Harry. How are you? Let's see. I think, do we have him on mute still?
Harry, I don't have you on mute, so we just can't hear you.
Harry, can you hear us? I don't know if he can hear us. Hold on, stand by guys for just a minute. We're gonna see if we can see if we can get that corrected. Hey Anna, do you mind sending a text to him? It looks like he got the text. And I'm going to send his chat here. He's connecting to audio. Yep.
Okay. Can you hear me? Goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. I tried to do the audio and I clicked the whole thing off. I'm like, I hope I didn't screw things up, everybody.
No, you didn't. You didn't at all. We're so happy
All right.
you're here this morning. We really
Thank you.
appreciate you
Thank
taking the time out this morning. So we have about roughly 20 families on the call with us, and
okay.
Let them know just a tiny little bit about the open shelter, and would love for you to share more with them, and then they're going to ask you questions.
Sure, perfect. I'm with the Open Shelter, as you heard, Resource Development Coordinator, and the Open Shelter is an agency that first and foremost tries to help those that are homeless and marginalized with their basic needs. We concentrate on food, clothing, hygiene items, even camping equipment for those who are living outside. That's what we do first and foremost, especially now with the pandemic. We really are focusing on making sure those we serve get the food they need to survive, to go throughout the day. But in normal times, I guess, for lack of a better term, what we actually try to do is build off of that. Use food, hygiene, clothing to build up that trust so that those we serve feel comfortable approaching us with other concerns, like with housing concerns, payee-ship concerns. We actually help 60 people manage their money, manage whatever income they have, whether it's Social Security or something else. We help them make sure their bills are paid, they're using their money to get off the streets and get into housing, and just making sure that whatever money they get is being used properly. So we basically lay out a plan for them. and try to, as much as possible, have them stick to it so their money isn't wasted or used for things that can unfortunately get them back onto the wrong path. We even have a mail room. People can have their mail sent to us, so we're a secure place for that as well. Restroom facilities, we have that as well. So someone who's downtown, especially right now with a lot of businesses still a little slow, the library even, that's a good example. The access to public restrooms is very, very scarce. So we provide that as well. So we're there right now. We're operating 10 to noon. We had to cut our hours back a little bit because of the pandemic, but 10 to noon, Monday through Friday. And like I said, first and foremost, we're trying to make sure that we're giving out those sack lunches, giving out hot meals, anything produce-wise or canned good-wise, food-wise that's donated to us. We have it out there along our hallway. Tell people to grab a grocery bag or two, fill up your bag, take a hot meal, take some sack lunches. Unfortunately, we have to do that pretty quickly right now. We only can let 6 people in at a time with all that's going on with the pandemic, COVID-19. So hopefully that gives you a brief overview. I didn't ramble too much, I hope, about what we're doing.
No, that was really helpful. That was perfect and really helpful for us to understand how the pandemic is affecting your ability to support.
It is what it basically is doing. We are still pretty much doing what we do on a normal day, a regular day before this hit, just in a condensed period of time. The one thing that really has been affected is we used to have an evening meals program at Broad Street United Methodist Church almost Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. We had to scrap that for the time being. The church is still, I guess for lack of a better term, on lockdown. So we really can't use it, especially with the limits on how many people can be in one place at one time. We really can't adhere to that. So we had to scrap that, but a lot of the groups that helped us with the evening meals are bringing things to us during the day, food and other items during the day to help out. So it's worked out. It's just now it's more in a condensed time frame.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you guys are doing the work that you're doing.
Well, thank you. Well, it's all because of support like Sea Kids Dream provides. We could not do anything that we do, any of the services we provide, we cannot do without the assistance of the Central Iowa community. We're a grassroots agency. We don't get any type of government funding of any sort. So it's all because an individual, a church, a business, a family, a civic group has decided to help us. That's how we do it.
That's wonderful. It's because of another person or a group of people.
Yep. It's Kent Bada, who's our director, likes to equate it to a jigsaw puzzle. You bring your piece, someone else brings their piece. We all put the pieces together. We're able to help. Yep. I think it's a good analogy. And it's been that way since 1983, thankfully.
Thank you, Harry.
Thank you.
I appreciate you so much.
Thank you, and thanks for all of your help.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to turn over questions now.
Okay.
Because I know I've seen this happen so many times at our events. Families love to ask questions and
perfect
more. So, families, I'm going to turn it over to you guys now. Just raise your hand if you have questions. There's a lot of different kinds of things you could ask here. And, really, this is your time to learn and to ask the questions that you've wanted to know about helping people who are struggling with homelessness right now, who are living on the street. Okay, so I see hands across here. Starkey family, you want to start us off?
Do you guys have shower facilities?
We do not. We have just a basic restroom facility right now for men and women. There are places people can go. One that I know of right offhand is the Dream Center, where you can access shower facilities. We unfortunately don't have that right now. Who knows in the future, but right now, unfortunately, we don't.
We have big group.
How do you guys make yourself accessible for people who have, who don't have a car, have limited transport means?
Well, unfortunately, we don't have a way to go out and do outreach. We did have a person up until about 2 to 3 years ago. They were under contract with another organization. They used us as a hub. They would go out and see who on the land needs help. We had, unfortunately, because of budget cuts, we had to let that go. But there are groups like Community Crossroads, which is downtown, and other groups, even including Mount Carmel, who, if they encounter someone on the streets who needs help, they bring them to us, and we try to help as much as we can. We're pretty busy throughout the day, though, so it seems like word on the street gets around pretty quick about what we can do. And we're located downtown in a location where we're easy to access. So a lot of people who might be living on the land near the river or in parks around downtown, they seem to know where to find us. We've built up that trust. Thanks.
More questions? Yeah, looks like Ning Yang. Yes.
Hi. If we're donating food, do they have access to hot water? Say if we donate like mac and cheese or instant noodles?
Yes. Well, either through us and other sources, and people that are living on the land are very resourceful. When I've been out on the land visiting those that we help, the resourcefulness is amazing. So yes, there would be no issue with that. They do have ways to prepare it. So if you're able to donate to us, it would definitely be a blessing.
Thank you.
Looks like we have a hand raised up there. Yep, go ahead. EM family.
How many people do you serve on a typical day?
On a typical day, it can vary depending on the time of the month. It's usually on average 150 people. But earlier in the month, when people may still have some resources, we may see like 100 to 125. As it gets later in a month, we have seen upwards of 175 to 200 plus in just one day.
Wow.
Helping out. Now, some may come up for a lot of assistance, like food, clothing, and hygiene. Some may just come up and grab a sack lunch or two and just move on. But on average, it's around 150 a day, even with the shorter hours.
Wow.
Yep. It gets pretty busy, but it all works out.
Yes, that or not?
Arkies, did you guys have another question?
Do they need any hygiene products? What kind of hygiene products? We were just talking, are there certain hygiene products that you like take donations of?
We'll take pretty much any, but right now we are trying to focus on like men's items, like men's cologne, shaving cream items, shaving items, because we're trying to put together things for kind of a Father's Day, not event so much, but to have these items. So we have a room off to the side. We did it for mothers that we serve, for those that come through our door. We did it for them where we have a set aside room. They can go in there and pick and choose through items like clothing, hygiene items, perfume, things of that nature. So we're trying to do it for men in the upcoming weeks as well in response to Father's Day. So any type of men's hygiene items, if you're able to donate them to us, we greatly appreciate it. But overall, I mean, any type of hygiene for men and women, we try to have on hand.
More questions? Yeah.
To build on that, I believe in the past you used to accept like already open containers of hygiene items. Do you still do that? Like you get
We
that
still do that. The only
you don't want to use it,
Yeah.
but you don't throw it away.
We don't throw it away. We use it in some way. A lot of people who travel donate the little tiny hygiene items to us from hotel rooms that they don't use. So those are good as well. The only thing we're kind of shying away from right now, for the most part, is clothing. Here in the past few weeks, we've if someone comes to us with clothing, we'll take it. But if someone asks, we've been kind of shying away from it just with the pandemic. We're just still kind of uncertain how things are in that regard. So that's the only thing we've really kind of shied away from in the past few weeks. Here coming up, I think we might be starting to loosen that up a little bit in the next few weeks. But other than that, yeah, hygiene items, canned goods, produce items. We're just trying to make sure we have enough of those items on hand. Even plastic bags. I know it sounds so very simple, but even just if someone were to donate plastic bags to us so we can give those out to people that we serve so they can put the things we're trying to give to them in it and they can take them with them to wherever they're going. And one of the other things, I know Brenda kind of likes this, we have some groups who actually crochet plastic bags together for us. And this is used as a mat to keep a campsite dry and warm. So we have, I know there's one in Worthington, a women's group there, and another group as well that crochet these together for us. This is just all plastic grocery bags. I wouldn't have the patience to do it, but if you go on YouTube and look up crocheting grocery bags, it shows you how to do it. Like I said, I wouldn't have the patience, but thankfully we have a couple of groups who do that for us. So even something as simple as a grocery bag we can use. It's important to us.
Harry, we have a question from Eric. He wanted to know where are you located and if there are person volunteer opportunities.
Well, unfortunately, right now, there really isn't any volunteer opportunities at the present time. We're still just, with the pandemic going on, we're trying to limit how many people we have in our building at one time. And when we're seeing 150 people in a given day and trying to move those we serve through as well, it's going to make it a little hectic to try and have volunteers right now, too. When things get back to quote unquote normal, whatever that is, we normally would accept volunteers of any age. If they're under 18, we just ask that they have a parental guardian. But other than that, yeah, we always are open to volunteers. It's just right now with the pandemic, we've kind of had to back away from that. So that's why projects like collecting items, if individuals or families are able to collect like canned goods for us, if they're able to collect hygiene items for us. I know we mentioned about the sack lunch program too, if groups can put together sack lunches, or even like I said before, collecting something as simple as grocery bags. If they're able to do that for us and bring it to us right now with all that's going on, we greatly appreciate it. Hopefully, somewhere in the near future, we can start getting back to having volunteers and even maybe looking at our evening meals program again. It's just right now, it's just so much uncertainty. Unfortunately, those things are on hold.
Like do we have one more question here? Okay, we've got a couple more. We got two more questions.
Okay, that's as many questions. That's fine by me. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, it looks like the Summerfield family and then the Johnson family.
Hi, with trying to service all the people you are and not have extra traffic and whatnot, would you want items dropped off between 10 and 12, or is there
Actually,
a better
10 to 12 is fine. 9 and 12 as well.
9. Okay.
9 to 12, there's usually someone there at least no later than 9 a.m. So 9 to noon, we're at 61 East Mound Street. The zip code's 43215. We're right behind St. John's Church in downtown Columbus, pretty much on the southern tip of downtown. And our phone number is 614-222-2885. When you arrive, just give us a call and we can send someone down with a cart to pick up any items that you want to donate. Yeah, we're always there Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 12 noon right now as far as donation drop-offs. Thanks.
Yeah. And the Johnson family?
Every time I've had a question, the conversation leads to the answer of the question. So, or ask the same question.
That's fine. That's no problem.
Great. Okay, I have one last question, and then we're going to wrap up and say thank you.
Thank you.
I'm wondering, Harry, if you would be willing to share what do you believe would be the thing that any person that you are serving, right, that is living outside on the land, what would be the thing that they would want to know or hear the most from people out here who want to support them?
Well, I think right now, especially with all the uncertainty, it's just to know that there's somewhere they can turn. within the past year, we've adopted the slogan, staying behind with those left behind. So I would like to think that those we serve know that people that are helping us are thinking of them, that people who are able to donate, who are able to support us, who are able to provide those items are thinking of those who are most vulnerable, who are less fortunate, and that even in this unprecedented time that there is still a place in their heart for those who need the help. That's one thing I've really noticed since the pandemic started. We have had just a great outpouring of support, both materially and financially. I mean, our worry was, going into this, how would that affect our support? And it seems like those who support us have just really reached out. They've really come out in full force to make sure that we're still there and we're still a place that those we serve can turn to and that they can trust. And it's amazing. There was the Giving Tuesday Now on May 5th, just recently. And we just, kind of threw it out there through social media and email that, hey, you can help us in this regard. And we raised over $3,500 in just the one day. And that's it's amazing to me. And for my 20 plus years I've worked at the Open Shelter, it's just always touched me. And I've been amazed by the support this community does show for those who need help.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I see the Johnson family. We got one question because she didn't get to have her other.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
So we're going to do one last question.
Thank you. So you mentioned that you just did a fundraiser recently. Is your organization going to be a part of the big give that's coming up on June 10th and 11th?
We are. That's great. That is a fantastic, what they would call segue, I guess. Yes, we will be part of the big give. I would say follow us at theopenshelter.org. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, The Open Shelter. And as we get closer to June 10th, we will be letting people know how they can support us during the big give. And yes, we will be a part of it. I believe it was 5 years ago. It was amazing how much money that raised.
Harry, if you can hear us, I think we lost a connection there. Send him a message really quick. Hey, Anna, do you mind sending him a message really quick and letting him know that we're going to wrap up?
Yeah, I'll get the information that he was just sharing from him, and I'll make sure that that's available on our website.
Yeah. I wish I could say it to him directly that he could hear. Maybe he can hear, but he just isn't able to come through because the internet connection goes in and out. But I just want to share how much we appreciate all the work that the Open Shelter does and all the partnership that Harry has always provided and the Open Shelter has provided for families to get involved. And they partner with Sea Kids Drink for a long time. And we really appreciate them and their work. And we so appreciate all of your questions and your guys' support of their work as well. So we're gonna now turn to, let's see, I wanna make sure. We're gonna turn to our service project. So hopefully, I think Gary gave us a lot of really good inspiration of what we can be doing to support them. And today we were going to just go ahead and try to do a packed lunch that we could donate to the Open Shelter. We heard very loud and clear that food is one of the things that they need the most, and it's always needed. And I wrote down numbers at least averaging about 150 people per day that they're feeding. 150 meals goes by like that. I mean, that's one day. So you got to have that many more the next day. We are going to go ahead and do a packed lunch together really quick, just to kind of talk through what does that look like. Okay, so I'm going to move my screen here because I'm going to attempt to do this. You can see here, I have, you cannot see here. Okay, so I have all these different items here. And hopefully you all have your items as well, because we're going to do this really quickly together if you have your items. Does everybody have their stuff? How many of you do? This is the time to get it. Okay, a couple of you. Yeah, a lot of you. All right, cool. Yep, we got all this stuff. Okay, so what do I have here? We have, I have a protein. So I'm using, I kind of like this one actually because it's called Kind. But I have a protein bar with nuts in it. You could do peanut butter crackers, or like those little peanut butter cups of some kind, a little bag of nuts, peanuts, something like that would be great. I have a fruit. I have a fruit cup. It looks like peaches. You could do applesauce, raisins, any kind of fruit juice would serve as a fruit cup. And I have a veggie, I have carrots. Again, a fruit or a vegetable cup, but you could do, veggies sometimes tend to be a little harder for shelf stable, for something that's to go, right? Because a lot of our veggies are perishable. So for this project, we are going to ask you to only include items that are non-perishable, which means they don't spoil. You could do veggie straws, veggie juice, veggie cup. I also have a bottle of water and a spoon to eat everything with, a napkin, and an index card. I have right here an index card. You could use any note, any kind of card that you have, just even a simple piece of paper will work. And then I have some markers. What you're gonna, and then, the last thing I have is a bag to put it in. I chose a regular Ziploc kind of bag. You could use just a regular grocery, like a plastic grocery bag, like Harry talked about in the video, because they can not only, that works in transportation, but they can reuse it as well. So whatever you have will work. So what we're gonna do is, first of all, put all those items in. So go ahead and load your bags. That should only take a few seconds. And put everything in except for the card. I see everybody doing that. Okay. And so remember, I just want to make sure everybody knows we're not going to put fresh food in these bags. I did hear Harry say that they will accept produce, and so that is something that you could provide if you wanted to go and make a drop-off at their shelter, but you would want to make sure that that's not something you're packing in a lunch like this. This is a handout and hand it out and go on the street kind of situation for this bag. That's how they're going to use them. So let's see. Okay, now we're going to do the note. So why are we doing a note? And that has a lot to do with the question that I asked Harry at the very end, which was what is something that a person who receives this lunch would want to hear? And I heard him talk about things like knowing that they aren't left behind, right? Knowing that someone else cares about them, knowing that someone else is thinking about them and the challenge that they are dealing with, in really dealing with this incredibly hard challenge of homelessness, especially during a pandemic. So I'm going to ask everybody to write your note right now. Write down what you believe would be the right thing for someone who opens this lunch to hear, to make them smile, to make them feel welcome, to make them feel loved, to make them feel cared for and valued. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing right now. Okay, all right. Give you a couple more seconds here to finish up your notes. I know we didn't give you a lot of time. Sometimes it's hard to do that. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to wrap up your note, and then we're going to hold up all the notes to our cameras because I want everybody else in Columbus to see that you guys care, that we're doing something to support others who need our help. And we're going to show this on social media so that others can be inspired to join and support the open shelter and other people who are struggling with homelessness, okay? All right, so we're going to, everybody ready? And you can continue to make your note even better later. But everybody ready? We're going to hold it up to the screen, okay? All right, so 1, 2, 3. Try to get it up there in the screen, nice and close. Okay. All right, Anna, you're going to do some screenshots there. Try to get it up really close so your note can be read. Okay, I love seeing all these notes, you guys. That's awesome.
Okay, I've grabbed about 5 pictures.
All right, we're starting. we are starting. That's step 1. I'm getting other people to get involved too. So thank you for being part of that. Okay. So we've been working really hard on this today and learning a lot. And now let's see, we did that. Okay. So now we just packed 1 lunch. We heard that they need 150 lunches in a day. I'm thinking we could probably all of us could probably pack more and help more people. So I'm wondering if you guys wouldn't mind sharing your ideas about how many lunches do you think you guys will pack, your family or yourself individually. I would just love to hear people sharing ideas about what they think. And by the way, there's no right or wrong number here. Everybody's got their own financial circumstances that they're dealing with. So we don't want to judge anybody as being too high or too low. That's really important. Everybody has a number that's right for them to be able to pack. But I did want everybody to be able to share so that they can, you know, inspire others to try to, let's see what we can do. Okay. So, so I see Starkeys have their hands up. How many do you think you guys are going to pack?
24.
24. Love it. Okay. Who else wants to share how many they think they're going to pack? Ning Yang's family?
48 bags.
48. Love it. Awesome. Okay. Who else? Anybody else want to share? Yeah. Ian family?
Sorry. We have stuff for 12 bags right now.
12 bags. Awesome. That's great. So I'm trying to do math in my head. 24, 48, and 12. That's all in groups of 12.
Laura, we have from Jack, Liam, and Elise, they're going to pack 18.
18. Awesome.
Stacy said we have 5 people in our family. We're going to pack 25.
Awesome. I see Nathan's hands up.
10.
10. Awesome. Are we hitting about 100 so far? Are we close to that? Maybe 70? It looks like the Jackson family has their hand up.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do 10, but I also work with a lot of scout units, so I plan on sharing the information to see what else we can do as well as with my church.
That's awesome. And the Jackson family?
Yeah, we're going to try to do 30.
Awesome. Okay. I didn't do all the math. That's not my strong suit. So, but in my head, I think were we around that number? Around 100? Yeah?
No.
I think so.
Eric's iPhone said, young family, we're going to do 20 bags.
Nice.
I know Vikram had his hand up.
Vikram, did you want to share?
Yeah, I think 32. Haven't counted yet, but
Sweet.
I think 32.
All right. Okay. We're definitely going to at least get 1 full day, aren't we? 150. I think we're going to get there. Okay, you guys, this is so awesome. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of lunch packing going on, which is great. After you guys have made your lunches, we do want to ask you to make sure you include a note with each one. That's going to take probably the most part, the longest part of the time. But that's really important because it does let that person who gets that lunch know that you are thinking about them. And that's sometimes almost just as important as the food. Okay, so now we're going to move into, after you guys have packed your lunches, we want you to, after you've packed all of them, so we want you to go to the journal that we now have online this year. Last year we did this and it was a handout, but this year we're doing it online. And the reason we want you to do that is because we are going to use it to share what impact you guys are making this year, this summer on this project, so that it engages other people. It inspires other people to get involved too and to also join us. Just like we heard from the Johnson family, you're gonna try to inspire some other scout groups to get involved. That's what we wanna do. This is about helping more people. That's what Summer of Service is about. And so you guys are the start of that, and you guys are the ones who are gonna help to inspire everybody else. And we appreciate you doing that. So each week, if you can fill this out, showing the number of lunches that you've made or other projects. We're going to use this after each project, the number of items that you've created, a little bit about your thoughts about the project, anything you'd want to share with others or with See Kids Dream, and share pictures too, because pictures sometimes are the thing that people have to see to understand, oh yeah, that does look like something I should be doing too. If you could complete them once a week, ideally by Thursday, then we'll be able to share the where we are on the numbers and stuff like that every Saturday. Also too, this is going to be on our website. A link to this will be on our website, but I should also mention to you, we're having a little bit of technical difficulty with our website right now. We're working through that with our provider, but right now it's a little shaky. So please bear with us as we work through that. Okay, after you've completed your lunches, all the service projects that we'll be doing, and all of these service projects that we're going to be doing this Summer of Service, we want you to actually hold on to them until the last session on June 27th. June 27th is going to be a celebration of all of the service that you guys have done all through this whole Summer of Service. We will have Harry most likely be able to be there to pick up all of the lunches. That doesn't mean that you can't bring things to the open shelter if you choose to do that. I mean, he will be able to use them. They will be able to use them no matter what. But we'd like to be able to also recognize you. So we're going to do a fun, we're thinking at this point, it's going to be a drive-through celebration. We'll be out there cheering you guys on. Hopefully we'll have some other people doing the same. And we will take all of the service projects that you're going to be donating through Summer of Service and get them to where they need to go. And we'll have some fun goodies for you guys too. So we hope you'll be able to join us for that. Mark your calendars for June 27th. It'll be at 9 o'clock. It'll just be a drive-through, real simple, but fun. So in the meantime, as you're making your lunches, think about a safe place to store them, but also make sure you can't have enough room to store others because we have some other organizations that are also going to need some lunches. So we're going to be talking with them in the weeks to come. Okay, last question, and then we're going to go because it's 10:10. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have a question for and I really am so curious to hear you guys' feedback on this. So if you could show that slide, Dawn. I have a quote here. Wait till she gets that up. Are you struggling? There she goes. Okay. We got it. All right. One person can make a difference, and everyone should try. So that's a quote by John F. Kennedy. And I want to know, what do you guys think? This is a really big statement, and I would really like to hear what you guys think. Is that true? Can one person make a difference? And I'd love to hear what you think about that. Why or why not? So, John, if you can, yeah, there we go. So I can see people. So raise your hand if you want to share what if you believe it's true or not. What if one person can make a difference? Okay, Johnson family.
Yeah, I believe that every person that you meet, you make a difference to. Whether you gave them a smile, you patted them on the shoulder, you gave them a compliment, just by acknowledging them, you have an opportunity to have an impact on that person's life with every action that you do, whether you realize it or not.
I would agree with that, most definitely. Thank you for sharing that. Who else would like to share? Can one person make a difference on someone else? Anyone? Okay, I see. I know it's 10:10. All right. So I guess I would just add on to that, Johnson family. I can't agree with you more. You just don't know the impact that you're having on someone else oftentimes, and I can give you 100 examples of how people have had that impact on me without knowing it. And sometimes it's just as simple as saying, "Hi, how are you?" Sometimes people need to hear that question. And in today's situation with the pandemic, we cannot do enough, I think personally, each person individually, to reach out to other people, to smile, to be engaging with other people in ways that are safe, but also are welcoming, because we all need to see that right now. So I appreciate all of you being here today so very much. I really do. Thank you. And I cannot wait to see what we're going to accomplish here over the next 5 weeks. And in closing, I just want to let you know next week, we are going to have a speaker from Military Veterans Resource Center and also from Calling Cats and Dogs. And we are going to be doing a pretty cool service project with Calling Cats and Dogs, making cat toys. And I think this will be a lot of fun, a total change from the food. But still, nonetheless, this is a group that they need support right now. So we will send you an email on Tuesday with supplies that you can plan to have ahead of time. And we really want to see you again next Saturday and share a little bit about too what you've been doing over the week with the packing all the lunches and stuff. So we thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you all next Saturday. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.